Welcome to Zoe Stories. My girlfriend's spell turned me into her dream girl. My name is Ryan. At 24, I'd always thought I had life mostly figured out. I was a back-end developer for a mid-sized gaming company, working from home in a dim little apartment in the city. I wasn't the most social guy, but I had a sharp wit, a quiet presence, and a secret I buried so deep, not even my mirror saw it most days. I'd been dating Luna for almost a year now. She was bold, radiant, effortlessly outgoing. A tarot reading, crystal collecting type with a loud laugh and a sharper mind than most people gave her credit for. On the surface, we were total opposites. But something about her made me feel safe, until recently. It had started small. Little comments from her, tossed like pebbles across the surface of our relationship. "I think you'd look cute in eyeliner," she said once, out of the blue, while we were watching a makeup tutorial on YouTube. I laughed it off. "Those jeans make your butt look way too good," she'd joked another time, playfully smacking me on the hip. I shrugged it off again. But deep down, those comments didn't scare me. They stirred something. Something I'd tried to lock away since I was a teenager. I'd always been drawn to femininity. Not just attracted to it, but connected to it. The softness, the colors, the subtle confidence in a well-fitted dress. I'd experimented briefly in high school when no one was home, stealing my sister's leggings, trying on a lip gloss or two. But guilt always came rushing in after. Guilt, fear, shame. I told myself it was just curiosity. A phase. A thing I did when no one was watching. But with Luna, it felt different. Like maybe, just maybe, I didn't have to hide. Still, I never told her. I couldn't. What if she laughed? What if she saw me differently, less of a man, less of a boyfriend? What if she left? The risk wasn't worth it. Or so I thought. We lived together in a one-bedroom apartment on the third floor of an older brick building downtown. Luna worked as a freelance artist and dabbled in witchy stuff, runes, herbal spells, moon rituals. I never believed in any of it, but she loved it, and I loved the way she'd glow when she talked about it. Our apartment always smelled like lavender and incense. There were crystals on the windowsills and dried herbs hanging from the kitchen shelf. It felt like a sanctuary and a trap. Because every time she lit a candle or whispered a spell under her breath, I couldn't help but feel like she saw more than I let on. Like maybe she was peeling back layers I was trying desperately to keep hidden. One night, a few weeks ago, I came home to find her hunched over her grimoire, the thick, leather-bound book she treated like gold. Her hair was in a messy bun, her glasses low on her nose, and she had this mischievous little smile playing on her lips. "What are you working on?" I asked casually, setting down my bag. "Oh, just a fun little spell," she replied, not looking up. "Something to help people reveal their true selves." I laughed awkwardly. "Sounds intense." She met my eyes then, calm, steady, like she could see through me. "Don't you ever feel like you're hiding something, Ryan?" I froze. Just for a second. Just long enough for her to notice. "Nope," I said too quickly, brushing past her to the kitchen. That moment haunted me all night. The next day, she left for a weekend retreat with her coven friends upstate. She kissed me goodbye, told me there was food in the fridge, and reminded me to water the plants. Everything felt normal. Except it wasn't. Because before she left, she pressed a strange necklace into my palm. A delicate silver chain with a tiny pink gem at the center. "Wear this for me," she said softly. "Just while I'm gone." I stared at it. "Why?" She smiled again, that same mischievous smile. "Because I think it'll help you figure something out." Then she left. And I was alone. Alone with my thoughts. With the necklace. And with the closet door that had always stayed metaphorically shut. That was when the curiosity started to creep back in. I stared at myself in the mirror that night. Still wearing Luna's necklace, the pink gem resting just below my collarbone. I didn't know why, but it gave me this tingling sense of warmth. Like the weight of judgment had lifted, like I was being invited to explore, to be something more. Or someone else. The necklace sat lightly against my chest, cool at first, then warmer with every hour I wore it. Maybe it was my imagination, but I could swear it pulsed sometimes, almost like it had a heartbeat. Or maybe I was the one whose heart was racing. The first night alone passed quietly. I watched some old rom-coms Luna liked, movies I usually pretended to roll my eyes at but secretly loved. I poured a glass of wine. Two, actually. By midnight, I was sitting on our bed with her makeup bag in my lap. It wasn't planned. I had walked into the bedroom to change into my PJs. But when I saw her makeup bag on the dresser, sitting half-zipped with a lipstick tube peeking out like it was meant for me to notice, I froze. My hands moved before I could stop them. I sat cross-legged, breathing shallowly, and slowly unzipped the bag. Inside, palettes of shimmering eyeshadow, perfect lipsticks in dusty rose and cherry red, brushes, sponges, eyeliner, mascara. I pulled the mirror closer. My hands shook. Was I really about to do this? I applied a little blush, just a soft stroke, on each cheek. Then mascara. I blinked. My lashes suddenly looked different. Not just darker. Fuller. Flirtier. My heart fluttered. I tried the lipstick last. Luna's favorite, Moon Petal. The shade was subtle but powerful. One swipe, and I barely recognized the person in the mirror. And yet, I had never felt more me. I stared at my reflection. My features softened. There was a strange glow in my face. My lips looked plumper. My skin smoother. I was smiling. The next day, it escalated. I told myself it was curiosity. Research. Nothing more. But by the afternoon, I had laid out one of Luna's outfits on the bed. A baby pink tank top and a black pleated skirt. I stared at them for at least 10 minutes, debating. Just try it on. A voice whispered inside me. No one's watching. I locked the bedroom door. The moment the fabric slid over my body, it felt electric. I gasped as the tank top hugged my chest. The skirt flowed gently around my thighs. I spun once. It twirled. I caught myself smiling in the mirror. I added tights. A wig she'd worn last Halloween. Even some perfume. And just like that, I was someone new. Not Ryan, but someone prettier. Softer. Alive. I walked through the apartment, feeling the floor through my tights, noticing how my hips swayed without me even trying. The necklace sat gently on my collarbone like it belonged. But the thrill was shadowed by fear. What if Luna came back early? What if a neighbor knocked on the door? What if I got too comfortable? I undressed quickly after an hour. Put everything away. Washed off the makeup. Hid the wig. But I couldn't hide the feeling inside me. The next night it happened again. This time, I added Luna's heels. I had never worn heels before. Wobbling, stumbling, laughing at myself in the mirror. It was awkward, clumsy, and perfect. Each night, the girl in the mirror became more real. She had a voice, a smile, a confidence Ryan never had. And that should have scared me. But it didn't. What scared me was how right it felt. I found myself practicing her voice, soft, melodic. I'd sit cross-legged on the couch, sipping wine, watching makeup tutorials, and mimicking the steps. The more I transformed, the easier it became. Like muscle memory, I didn't know I had. By the fourth night, I was dressing up the moment the sun went down. I'd prance around the apartment, whispering little affirmations Luna used to say to herself in the mirror. You're powerful. You're radiant. You deserve to be seen. Was I becoming her? Or just the version of myself I never allowed to exist? Then came the moment that changed everything. It was the fifth night. I had gone all out. Hair curled. A red dress that clung to every curve. Smoky eye makeup. Red nails. Luna's sparkly hoops. The pink necklace glowing faintly at my throat. I wasn't just experimenting anymore. I was her. Or someone new. And just as I posed in front of the mirror, heels clicking on the hardwood floor. Knock. Knock. My heart dropped. I froze. Another knock. Was that the neighbor? A package? Luna? I panicked. Raced into the bathroom. Scrubbed at my face. The makeup wouldn't come off fast enough. My heart thundered in my chest. Another knock. This time followed by a voice. It was Mrs. Claiborne, the elderly woman from 4B. Sweetheart? Are you all right? I heard something fall earlier. Just checking in. I held my breath. My hands were shaking. I am fine. I called out in a higher voice, without thinking. The girl's voice. Thank you, just dropped something. A long pause. Then her footsteps retreated. I stood there, staring at my reflection, my chest heaving. My wig was crooked. My lipstick smudged. One earring was missing. But I wasn't Ryan anymore. Not tonight. That close call should have scared me straight. I should have packed everything up, sworn off the dresses, buried the necklace. But instead, I started wanting the risk, the thrill of almost getting caught. The transformation was no longer just external. Every night, it felt like the necklace was tightening its grip on me, like it was encouraging this shift. And I didn't resist, because for the first time in my life, I felt beautiful. I stopped checking the calendar. Each day blurred into the next. My routines shifted completely. Ryan's clothes lay untouched in the back of the closet. I couldn't remember the last time I wore them. My voice had changed, higher, softer. Even my laugh sounded unfamiliar now. I barely noticed the subtle shifts anymore. My body was different. My skin glowed. My waist felt narrower. My hands looked daintier, my fingers long and slim. When I walked, my hips naturally swayed. The mirror reflected a version of me I should have been terrified of. Instead, I felt at home. I began calling her Riley. It just slipped out one night while whispering to myself in the mirror. She wasn't Luna. She wasn't Ryan. She was someone in between. Someone free. Riley liked soft music and long baths. She liked painting her nails and twirling in the living room. She liked the way people smiled at her at the grocery store, especially when she wore Luna sundresses. But Riley also lived with a constant shadow. Luna. She still hadn't come back. No texts. No calls. Every morning I checked my phone, hoping for a message. Something. Anything. Nothing. I started imagining scenarios. What if she was in danger? What if she saw what I had become and left on purpose? What if this was all a trap? Then the necklace began to glow. One night, while brushing my hair in front of the mirror, it shimmered, softly at first, then brighter. I froze. And then I heard it. Luna's voice. Not from the door. Not from my phone. From inside my head. You're doing beautifully, Riley. I dropped the brush. Don't be scared. You're almost perfect now. Luna? I whispered aloud. You're becoming the girl I always knew you could be. I backed away from the mirror. My legs hit the edge of the bed. My breath came in sharp gasps. This wasn't normal. I yanked at the necklace. It wouldn't budge. I clawed at the clasp. My fingers slipped. The chain felt like it had melted into my skin. Take it off. I screamed. But it wouldn't move. And the voice continued. You were always meant for this, Riley. I just helped you see it. No, this isn't me, I shouted. I'm Ryan. Are you? The room spun. I collapsed onto the bed. Sleep hit me like a wave. When I woke up, I was wearing a silk nightgown I didn't remember putting on. My face was perfectly made up. My hair had grown. And my chest was no longer flat. I screamed. My voice was higher. Softer. Feminine. I grabbed my phone, my hands shaking. I dialed Luna. Voicemail. Please, I whispered. Come back. I don't know what's happening to me. I locked myself in the apartment. Closed the blinds. Turned off the lights. But the changes didn't stop. Every day, my features grew more delicate. My mannerisms more graceful. I found myself smiling at my reflection even when I didn't want to. The necklace continued to glow, always warm, always humming. It was like the spell had a mind of its own now. And then the dreams began. Dreams of Luna, standing above me in a white dress, smiling. You're perfect now. Dreams of Riley, not me looking like her, but watching her, like she had taken over. One night, I woke up crying. Not because I was scared, but because I didn't want to stop being her. I liked the attention. I liked the softness. I liked the way men looked at me. The way I could control a room just by smiling. Ryan would never have that power. But Riley? She was magnetic. Still deep inside, a war raged. Some nights, I dressed like Ryan again. I dug his jeans out, put on a hoodie, tied my hair back. But it didn't fit. The clothes felt wrong. My reflection mocked me. The necklace glowed brighter on those nights, as if punishing me for resisting. One day, I tried to smash it. I grabbed a hammer, placed the necklace on the counter, and brought it down.
Clang.
The hammer bounced back like it had struck steel. The necklace remained untouched. Then I heard her again. "You can't break destiny, sweetheart." I dropped the hammer. Fell to my knees. "Please," I whispered. "Just let me choose." But you have chosen. And maybe I had. Because that night I got dressed again. Tight dress. Heels. Full makeup. The works. I looked into the mirror, trembling. "Say it," Luna's voice whispered. And I did. "I'm Riley." The necklace pulsed once, warmly. For the first time, I felt calm. The storm inside me quieted. And I finally understood the cruel brilliance of the spell. It didn't just change my body. It made me fall in love with who I became. Even if it meant losing who I was. Underscore 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 underscore. The day Luna returned, it was raining. I had just finished doing my nails when I heard the key turn in the door.
Click.
My body froze. The door creaked open, and there she stood, soaked from the rain, her dark coat clinging to her skin, hair plastered to her face. Her eyes locked onto me.
She didn't speak.
Neither did I. I was standing in the middle of the living room, wearing a blush-pink slip dress, lips painted rose red, mascara framing my widened eyes. I looked exactly like the woman from her dreams. I didn't try to hide. I didn't run. I didn't even reach for a robe. She closed the door behind her slowly. A long silence stretched between us, filled only by the sound of dripping rain. "You look beautiful," she finally whispered. I blinked. My throat tightened. "Where have you been?" My voice cracked, soft, scared, and vulnerable. She stepped forward, her boots echoing against the floor. "I had to make sure the spell worked," she said. "That it stuck." "What does that mean?" Luna's eyes darkened. "It only works if you want it." "I didn't ask for this." I snapped, though even I wasn't sure anymore. "But you never stopped it," she countered. "You could have fought harder. Taken the necklace off." I tried. It wouldn't come off. She raised an eyebrow. "Did you try before or after you started calling yourself Riley?" I fell silent. Tears welled in my eyes, but I didn't let them fall. "Why me?" I whispered. She stepped closer, now inches from my face.
"Because I saw you, Ryan.
The real you. You never looked at me the way you look at yourself in the mirror now." A shiver ran down my spine. "I didn't mean to change you into someone you hate," she said, softer this time. "I wanted to set you free." "I don't hate her," I admitted. "I hate that I love her." Her eyes softened. She reached out and touched my cheek, fingers trailing the curve of my jaw. "You are her." I closed my eyes. And then, in the mirror, I saw something. Luna's reflection was flickering, like a bad signal. For a split second, she looked different. Older. Paler. Her smile wider, unnatural. My breath caught. "What are you?" I whispered. Luna's smile slowly stretched. "Oh, Riley, I'm your dream girl. Just like you became mine." And then the necklace burned. White hot. I cried out, stumbling back, clutching it, clawing at it. My skin felt like it was melting. The room spun. Luna, or whatever she was, tilted her head. "You always wondered why the spell never faded. Why the changes didn't stop." I gasped, falling to my knees. She knelt beside me, brushing the hair from my face. "You're not wearing a spell anymore, sweetheart." She leaned in and whispered, "You are the spell now." Blackness crept into the edges of my vision. Before everything went dark, I heard her final words. Sweet dreams. Riley, what do you think Luna really is? Was she ever real, or just a manifestation of Riley's suppressed desires? Is there still a way back for Ryan, or is Riley now permanent? Speech Balloon, tell us what you think in the comments. What would you do if you were Riley? Backhand index pointing right, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to catch part 2.